Hey, so I just had to record this message because I just got a word that is just so deep I need to share it. Um so I just heard a word last night, which is people throughout your whole life have come against you. And it's like not only did they not help you, but they worked against you. And yet you still persevered. It's like the power, the spiritual power and light of God that you have on the inside of you has given you the courage and the strength to persevere despite all of the adversity, the burdens, the betrayals, the attacks, the um people coming against you in order to hold you back, tie you down, put a weight on you, abandon you, forsake you, walk away from you when you needed them the most. People would stand and see you face adversity and attack you on top of kind of like take advantage of you being kicking you while you're down, basically. And you not being able to understand why you can't progress, why you can't move forward, why things are so hard, why you can't win for trying, facing adversity, being drained. But it was like I heard this message last night that it's like you've been blind to, it's like you've been shadow boxing, not seeing where the opposition is coming from, not understanding. They're being in murky water, everything being cloudy, not being able to see who is who, what is what. But it's like, and not even being able to see yourself. But when I heard the word that I heard yesterday, it's like you persevered in spite of having all of these challenges, in spite of people throwing rocks and hiding hands, people smiling in your face while conspiring against you behind your back, or secretly despising you, envying you, hoping and praying on your downfall, getting information from you in order to go behind closed doors and pray against you. Because that's one thing a lot of people don't talk a lot about. People talk about witchcraft, but people don't completely understand what that is and realize that people are actually doing that on a consistent basis. That witchcraft does not have to be, concocting, bubble, bubble, toil, and trouble. Like, witchcraft is lies. It's concocting, lies and rumors and gossip. It's creating illusions. It's creating, a smoke screen. It's saying one thing, doing another. It's speaking and wearing a mask and being a specific way toward a specific person, even though you have malicious intention. You're behind four walls, speaking against them, lying against them, slandering against them, painting pictures of them that are false, that are untrue, getting people to work against them, to see them in a false light. Because then, as you paint pictures of a person that are not true, you're bringing more people in against that person to think that that person is walking in their shadow, is walking in a false light when it's not true, and bringing people against, now thinking a certain way about a person, and now they're seeking vengeance behind four walls. A lot of spell work, which is intentions. Spell work is intentions, and spell work is intentions for good or bad. Spell work is thinking or being or meditating in a specific way in order to gain a result from your meditations. And a meditation are the thoughts that you think of daily. It's the things that you rehearse over and over in your mind in order to produce a specific result. People meditate on God. They sit there with their eyes closed and they think of the goodness of God. They want to produce a specific result, which is healing, health, abundance. You meditate on specific thoughts in order to manifest specific results. And when you put false thoughts into others' heads about specific people that are untrue, people begin to meditate upon those specific false illusions about a person, and it creates spell work against a person. So then instead of one person hating one for false reasons, painting a negative picture about a person that's false, now instead of you being the only one coming against that person, now you have a false picture painted to multiple people about a specific person. So then guess what? That spell work, those meditations, those intentions, those lies create a breeding ground for havoc in a person's life. It actually brings destruction into a person's life. So the person that spread lies, gossip, slander, the picture that was painted that was false of a person, the responsibility now lies within the person's hands who painted a false picture of the person in the first place. Because now there's so much power being thrown, so many intentions being put into the spiritual realm against a person that's completely false, completely untrue. So now you're closing doors in innocent people's faces. And that's spell work. When you put an intention out there, whether it's positive, whether it's negative, you don't have to be a witch that wears a black hat in order to cast a spell. Everyone has the spiritual being of God on the inside of us. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Life and death is truth and lies. Life is truth, death is lies. Therefore, casting death and lies upon a person is actually spell casting. You're putting an intention out there. So again, we're taught, or we've been told, that spell casting is for people who concoct up, potions. When really we are casting spells, like we are setting intentions every single day. We are speaking good and evil. We are speaking truth or we are speaking lies. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Truth and lies are in the power of the tongue. Therefore, you have the power to bring a person up and speak life into their life, or speak lies and speak death into their life. And we are held accountable. But getting back to what I was saying, because I have that point that I had to prove, which I need to make clear, is that we have persevered in spite of, wrongful actions being taken against us. We have not been able to point the finger at anyone and understand where these lies and illusions and opposition has come from, because of the fact that God has not allowed us to see who has been secretly working against us for years, or not allowing us to see, but making us be led by faith in spite of the opposition. Therefore, because we never understood who it was that was working against us, that created opposition, we never interfered with the things that were being done to us without us realizing. Therefore, that makes us innocent. And now that we are innocent, we're free and clear to walk free. It's like we didn't wreak havoc or take matters into our own hands. We didn't, try to sacrifice those who sacrificed us. But God is now beginning to close doors on people, places, situations of the past. And what's being made clear is the advice today is to hold back and to walk away and to not accept any love offers at this time. The biggest deception of the enemy is to confuse us into which season we're in our lives. Right now, it's not a season of accepting love offers from anyone. We just got done going through a very rough spiritual battle for the last few years, and now it's time to rest, rejuvenate, relax, and heal, and to continue being in a place of solitude. It's not a time to accept any love offers or open any old doors of the past and let anyone in. It's not time for that. There's lessons that need to be learned on both sides of each relationship that we've been in, whether it's, good karma, bad karma, whatever anyone has sown, that he shall also reap. And so if the enemy can confuse us into thinking that it's a time to open doors for partnerships and relationships, then we can let our past back in, thinking that everyone has learned their lesson, when it's judgment time. Right now, we are in a time of judgment. And everyone, it's either doors are being opened or doors are going to be shut. Whatever you wished or believed for someone else is what you're going to, it's like whatever you put out there is what you're going to receive back. And it's like if people don't know the season that they're in, they're going to open up that door and allow that karma in that someone else is supposed to be receiving, and then it now becomes your karma, which is spiritual consequences. So it's like you can either be awakened to the devices of the enemy and learn your spiritual lessons and close certain doors of the past and move forward in newness, because your spiritual karma is now released and you're now being set free. And we have to realize that when it's your season of being set free and God says the door is open, you're free to go. Like, you're free to go. God's advice here, and I'm just, because again, God's saying do not collaborate. Because if you do, you're going to be stuck. These people in the past chose not to collaborate with us. They chose not to work as a team. They chose not to put in their part. They chose not to evenly distribute the wealth so that everyone could become their best self. People didn't choose to collaborate in the past, and it left us struggling. Therefore, it left us stuck at a crossroads, unable to choose. The advice is not to. The advice is to not open any doors right now, but just to work on yourself, to love yourself, to heal yourself, to work on your craft, to develop your business, to think about your future and the assets of your investments, to weigh all your investments, to look at the past and see the past investments that you made, and to see what you did wrong and what you could do right in the future. But it was like we haven't been able to understand why we haven't been able to gain success. And it's like, as long as we're stuck and confused on which path to choose, we continue to juggle. We're juggling, finances, we're juggling decisions. We're unable to, it's like, if we can, if we're, see, this is the thing. People want to, keep us stuck at a crossroads, keep us stuck, unable to choose a direction. And if we continue to battle between head and heart and not eventually make a decision to move on from the things that don't serve us, but to continue opening the door to past people and situations that have never done anything for us, it's like, if you never do anything different, you're never going to get anything different. Going back to people that have chosen not to invest in you. If they didn't choose it in 20 years, they're not going to choose it now. If they didn't give it to you back then when you really needed it, and now you're where you need to be, why would you even accept it? It's like, I don't need the help anymore. I mean, I could use the help to better my life, but I'm not going to take it from a person who watched me struggle and did not lend a helping hand. Like, if I needed it back then and it wasn't given, I'm not trying to receive anything from you at this point. And really, I'm learning that it doesn't mean exactly that those doors have to be closed permanently, but for a season they do, and boundaries need to be kept up in terms of considering other people's feelings before your own. Putting yourself on the back burner when that's what you've always done and it hasn't gotten you anywhere. It's putting everyone else before yourself when really it's not that we shouldn't do that at all. It's just that there's a season for doing those things. There's a season for sowing and a season for reaping. God will tell you when he wants you to invest in others. He will tell you when he wants you to put others before yourself. And we've done that for years. And it's not that it was wrong. It was the season to give. It was the season to sow. It was the season to help. And now it's our season to pour back into ourselves.
It's from Hamburg.
From Hamburg?
Yeah, it's from in there from Hamburg.
Go blow your nose. She got a runny nose and she don't want to blow her nose. But anyways, I had to share that because it hit me really hard that those who haven't been there, now that it's my time, I can't be there. I can't be there this time. I can't. I have to think about myself because, again, it's a now or never season. You get to a certain age where you've invested in every other place except yourself. And God blessed me to be able to do that. And God gives you grace and strength for the season that you're in. And once that grace and strength is lifted off of a particular project or group or organization or relationship, it's like when there's resistance and there's no more strength to deal with it, there's no more patience to deal with it. It's like God is just lifting his hand off of it and saying, it's not that it's bad. These people aren't bad. It's just the season is done. That's just all I have to say. There's a time to sow and there's a time to reap. And we need to understand, which season are we in? It's a time to invest in ourselves, because after you've sown into everyone else's lives and you've been left bankrupt, you learn that if I don't sow into my own life and invest into my own life, who's going to do it? I'm going to end up bankrupted at the end of the day. I have a future to think about. I have a child to think about that has a future. I have investments. It's a now or never. And if I don't do it, who's going to do it for me? If I don't become selfish enough long enough in order to see some type of results, what type of foundation am I gonna be, is my life gonna be built on? Because again, no one's gonna do it for me. So at the end of the day, I'm just supposed to continue putting myself on hold to be bankrupted. But again, God's not saying that. There's a season. And the things that I've done in the past, I wasn't wrong for it. That was just my season. And now I'm in a different season. That's all. But yeah, I wanted to say that. But again, I'm going to come back with another reading soon. But I have to say too, we had Ten of Swords energy. 2 Ten of Swords, because I had a different Ten of Swords come in from a different deck. So I had the Ten of Swords twice today. Popped out of nowhere. 10-10. And then I also had the Ten of Wands come in. 3 tens, which is completion, completion, completion. 10-10-10. And then today also was 30 degrees outside, which is also 30. 30 breaks down 10 3 times, which is also 10-10-10. And God wanted to emphasize how multiple attacks from others have put us in an 8 of Swords, have caused us to be heartbroken. And then we had 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords. Multiple attacks from multiple directions, tying us up. 8 of Swords, breaking our hearts, keeping us up late nights, can't sleep. Putting us in a position of stagnation, unable to move forward, unable to make decisions. People who were supposed to collaborate with us chose not to collaborate, but instead they walked away. They walked away. Okay? So there's people who are coming back around who have betrayed us, okay? Who chose not to collaborate, put heavy burdens on us, and just walked away. And God is saying no. It's a no this season again. And it's not like we don't forgive, because we do. You know what I'm saying? We forgive. And we can even, forget. But we can never forget the lessons, I take that back. We can forgive, but we're not going to forget how we felt when we were left high and dry in our opposition season, when you're kicked low to the ground and people could offer a helping hand and there was none. At the end of the day, there's no grudges, there's just lessons. And in those lessons, we realize you owe nobody anything, not even an explanation. If you choose to close the door and walk away, if you choose to close the door and be left alone, to take care of business, to do for yourself what needs to be done, what no one else will do, you are, by God, have every right and authority to make decisions in your life to take care of yourself, to make sure that you're in the best mental, emotional, and physical health, to be able to put one foot in front of the other to make solid, good decisions and investments in yourself and in your life. And you owe no one anything, because at the end of the day, when you're down and out, there's no one there. They chose not to be around to help, and in fact worked against you while you were down and out, and pretended not to, you know, pretended not to know anything about it. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. I didn't do anything. In fact, I have no clue what's going on here. So make decisions accordingly. Consult God and do what's best for you. But at the end of the day, it's God who gives the final say. You go to God and you ask him and he'll tell you. But be wise, be discerning in these seasons of our life coming up, because I feel like I'm almost done here. But we have to learn our lessons at some point. And, they come back around in order, like, discern and test the spirit. Testing the spirit is energy. Test the spirits, test the energies that present themselves to you, and be wise and discerning. Don't get yourself caught back up in old cycles with old energies that are gonna take you back into the same cycle that you're trying to get yourself out of. At some point, if you want to move forward, lessons just have to be learned. They have to be discerned. You have to make a different decision in order to reap the results and become healed and whole and happy. With that being said, I'll be back around whenever God leads me to. I'm just gonna keep doing whatever God tells me to do on this channel. So have a blessed and prosperous day. And you know what? Test the spirits. I'm not saying to close the doors in anyone's faces. I'm saying when people come around or represent themselves, remember the lessons of the past. Keep up good, solid, safe, healthy boundaries. And protect yourself. Protect your peace. Protect your joy. Protect your investments. That was another thing that came up yesterday that was really, protect yourself and respect your spiritual growth and ascension. Respect your spiritual ascension and the fact that you're growing to the next level, and protect it. Protect your investments and everything that you work so hard for. And don't let anyone come around and try to take that away from you. If you feel like they are in any way, shape, or form, put up your boundary. Protect everything that you've invested in, that you've sown into. Protect your family. Protect your money. Protect everything that you work so hard for, even your dreams that you're trying to manifest. Protect it. Have a blessed one.